Hey guys, so to preface this video, I'm just editing it right now, and while I was, which by the way, this video is like super delayed. I finished this project a while ago. Stop mumbling, what are you doing? Maggie's eating her bed right now because she's quite upset I'm sitting in it. Meanwhile, she lays in my bed all the time, so someone's got double standards, that's all I gotta say. But anyway, I was editing this video and I had fun music playing around with it, like I usually do. Or that's kind of my goal, to make it more entertaining for you to watch me spending hours working on refinishing furniture or painting walls or painting things, painting everything. And the song started annoying the shit out of me. And it got to this point in the music where it was like, it started with a really good beat, and this is all like royalty-free copyright music you can find on YouTube. So after I realized the song was quite annoying, and it's a long video of me not really explaining things, but just kind of doing my thing and experimenting, I took back to YouTube's archive of audio that they give you, and I found John F. Kennedy's speech, his inaugural speech, and I realized that I haven't really sat down and listened to it. And considering I make these videos for myself primarily, which is why I enjoy doing them so much, I wanted to put it into the video while I was editing all the little clips, and I just left it as is because in a time right now I think it's a very important speech to listen to. Yeah, some things may have changed, some things haven't. I mean, that it's up to the individual listening to it. But if you're interested in watching me refinish these little display stands / tables, and you want to listen to a really good speech or reflect on it, like how times have changed from the 60s to now, or how much they haven't changed, or in fact kind of gone backwards, then take a listen and enjoy. It's a little unconventional because I think most people doing these kind of videos, or when it comes to furniture or how-tos or DIYs, it's fun and like and all over the place, and I try to do that most of the time, but no buts. No buts. I think it was important. And to me, while I am proudly Canadian, and this is obviously, it's a presidential speech, it's not Canadian, it's still an important part of history, and there's a lot of respectful things, like what happened to the pride in and the passion towards things and the connection. It seems we're just getting more and more and more and more and more and more disconnected from everything. So that is enough of my ramble-bamble. I was gonna put tons of text in, explaining what I'm doing. However, I think it's satisfying just to watch the process of what I'm doing while also listening to this historical, or this very important piece of history. Please watch and listen. And if you can, kudos to you, because a lot of people can't sit and just focus anymore, and myself included. Like, you always feel like you have to be multitasking. So, anywho, thanks. If you watch this, cool. I made this for myself, which seems kind of contradictory because I'm posting it online. But to me, that's my gauge of holding myself to it, because I could just, I try to perfect things, and even doing this, I was kind of like, should I? Like, that's not categorically correct. People probably want to see a proper tutorial, or maybe they don't, because again, I don't have a lot of viewers, I just got my dog, and camera, and paint, and amazing people in my life, and that's all you can ask for, right? You know what I'm saying? So, that's it. I'm gonna stop talking now. Goodbye. All right. I am sorry I don't have a beautiful backdrop, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Andy here from Color Oasis. You guessed it. It's gonna get real old. Gotta be consistent! Hurry up! So up next, going to be refinishing these as just some nice little mini tables or display tables. They could be pretty versatile, I think, and I'm not quite sure how exactly I'm going to execute this one, but we'll check it out. We'll see. We'll just go with the flow. That's my line lately. We're just going with the flow. Go with the flow! Scream back to me.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear
that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States
And will, to the best of your ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more. To those old allies whose cultural and spiritual origins we share, we pledge the loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do, for we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our word that one form of colonial control shall not have passed away merely to be replaced by a far more iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our view, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom, and to remember that in the past, those who foolishly sought power by riding the back of the tiger ended up inside. To those people in the huts and villages of half the globe struggling to break the bonds of mass misery, we pledge our best efforts to help them help themselves for whatever period is required, not because the communists may be doing it, not because we seek their votes, but because it is right. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. To our sister republics south of our border, we offer a special pledge to convert our good words into good deeds, in a new alliance for progress, to assist free men and free governments in casting off the chains of poverty. But this peaceful revolution of hope cannot become the prey of hostile powers. Let all our neighbors know that we shall join with them to oppose aggression or subversion anywhere in the Americas. And let every other power know that this hemisphere intends to remain the master of its own house. To that World Assembly of Sovereign States, the United Nations, our last best hope, in an age where the instruments of war have far outpaced the instruments of peace, we renew our pledge of support to prevent it from becoming merely a forum for invective, to strengthen its shield of the new and the weak, and to enlarge the area in which its writ may run. Finally, to those nations who would make themselves our adversary, we offer not a pledge, but a request that both sides begin anew the quest for peace. Before the dark powers of destruction, unleashed by science, engulf all humanity in planned or accidental self-destruction, we dare not tempt them with weakness, for only when our arms are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed. But neither can two great and powerful groups of nations take comfort from our present course, both sides overburdened by the cost of modern weapons, both rightly alarmed by the steady spread of the deadly atom, yet both racing to alter that uncertain balance of terror that stays the hand of mankind's final war. So let us begin anew. remembering on both sides that civility is not a sign of weakness, and sincerity is always subject to proof. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Let both sides explore what problems unite us, instead of belaboring those problems which divide us. Let both sides, for the first time, formulate serious and precise proposals for the inspection and control of arms, and bring the absolute power to destroy other nations under the absolute control of all nations. Let both sides seek to invoke the wonders of science instead of its terrors. Together, let us explore the stars, conquer the deserts, eradicate disease, tap the ocean depths, and encourage the arts and commerce. Let both sides unite to heed in all corners of the earth the command of Isaiah to undo the heavy burden and let the oppressed go free. And if a beachhead of cooperation may push back the jungle of suspicion, let both sides join in creating a new endeavor, not a new balance of power, but a new world of law, where the strong are just and the weak secure and the peace preserved. All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin. In your hands, my fellow citizens, more than mine, will rest the final success or failure of our course. Since this country was founded, each generation of Americans has been summoned to give testimony to its national loyalty. The graves of young Americans who answered the call to service surround the globe. Now the trumpet summons us again, not as a call to bear arms, though arms we need, not as a call to battle, though in battle we are, but a call to bear the burden of a long twilight struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, a struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. Can we forge against these enemies a grand and global alliance, north and south, east and west, that can assure a more fruitful life for all mankind? Will you join in that historic effort? In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. my fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Finally, whether you are citizens of America or citizens of the world, ask of us here the same high standards of strength and sacrifice which we ask of you. With a good conscience, our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking His blessing and His help, but knowing that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own.
What's the difference between a weed and a flower?
I don't know.
A judgment.